Ba Weep Grana Weep Nini Bong. Welcome back to the Justin Network. I am your host, Justin. And today we have a very exciting toy to look at. We have the Walmart exclusive Retro Headmaster's Weirdwolf. So what's the deal with this toy? As you can see, it has a very retro look. What they did was reissue a bunch of toys from the Headmaster's original cartoon, but really the toy is different, but they tried to do the box as close to it was back in the day as possible. And man, did they do a good job. This looks so good and I'm so excited to open it up. He also comes with his little Headmaster. It was originally known as Monzo. Well, in America, he was known as Monzo, but they lost the right. For some of you guys that don't know, they do lose the right to some Transformers names. And get them back, lose them, get them back. They'll do little different names. It's very similar, like instead of Monzo, this is Monkso. The funny thing about this toy in general, the toy is actually a reuse of the same mold from the Titans Return Weirdwolf, but they didn't have the rights to the name Weirdwolf at the time, and he was known as Wolfwire. Yeah, they did some changes. We'll talk about that, but let's go ahead and get this guy open so we can take a good look. All right, ladies and germs, here is Weirdwolf. And while I was actually getting him out and looking at him, I realized this will be the first Transformer that we've ever talked about on the channel that doesn't transform into a conventional vehicle of any kind. He transforms into a wolf. It's the first one we've done that transforms into any kind of animal. A primitive, as they called him in G1.
Primitives, flee!
It's funny that this is the first primitive that we've transformed because I love the primitives. A lot of my favorite characters are the primitives. So it's really funny that I just now got to messing around with one for the first time. But look at that, he looks so good. It's a very good interpretation of the way he looked in G1 in my opinion. So remember, he was in Season 4 of the American G1 cartoon. He was in it very little. It was just in Season 4, that little rebirth they had. But in Japan, in the Headmaster's cartoon, he was a very big, important part. I mean, it was called the Transformers Headmaster. So he does have all kinds of movement right there, right there. His foot's on a ball joint. It can do all kinds of spinning around. His back legs are gonna do all kinds of different movement like that. They will go all the way around. It will come off. It's just a ball and socket joint. Pop that right back in there.
Nice.
He's got movement right there, as well as a joint right there. And his foot, well, he's able to spin around in multiple spots all the way. But yeah, that's our boy, Weirdwolf. He's got this tail here. It does come on and off. It turns into a sword that he can hold. Pops right back in there, as you can see. But yeah, he's got a good look here. Good look indeed. Well, let's go ahead, spin his head all the way around, as you can see. His mouth here does also open. You got silver in there, as you can see. On his teeth, his tongue, roof of his mouth. It'll open all the way to there and close right back up. That looks really good. I'm gonna leave it just slightly open. He's got those nice red eyes. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. So it's very similar to the Titans Return. They just did some paint jobs, did a little bit of different stuff with his mouth. His head is a different, and we'll get to that when he's in bot mode. But yeah, that's Weirdwolf here in his wolf mode. Here's his Headmaster Monzo. As you can see, he's a little tiny guy. He is got movement in his arms, I believe. Yeah, he's got movement in his arms. They're on a little ball joint. His head will spin all the way around like that. And then his legs are together, but they will go up and move around like that. That's part of his transformation. And he's got that one little screw in the middle. This is pretty standard for most of your modern day Headmasters looks. On the back, you'll see it's Weirdwolf's head. For some of y'all that are not too knowledgeable on Headmasters, this is going to be cool for you guys. You've never seen one of these possibly, so yeah, for sure. He also comes with a blaster here, and it's very hollow, as you can see on top. It's a nice looking gun, I would say, overall though. It matches that color, that blue-green that he's got going on, and when he's in his wolf mode, it will pop in right there. It's a little loose, it doesn't necessarily snap in, but it does look good. Besides that, there's going to be a way that you can fill that in with an upgrade kit or even something on your own. I saw a guy the other day on a Facebook group that I'm in of Transformers collectors, and this is really big. You wouldn't be able to do it with this one, but I saw him filling in some gaps with Lego pieces, and I was like, wow, that's really smart. I never thought about that. So we may do a video down the line getting into some of that maybe at some point. Well, he also has like a cockpit here that will open up, as you can see, and you can fit Monzo sitting right in there like that. And look, you can even see him right in there. That's pretty awesome. Shout out to my boy Greg. This is looking like a Zoid now, man. Okay, guys. So we got a good look of him here in his wolf mode. Let's go ahead and get him into robot mode and see what we're feeling about that. And there is Weirdwolf in his robot mode. So this was not a bad transformation at all. He's got his sword here. As you can see, that was his tail. He's got his cannon here. It definitely feels like the cannon was made more so for his robot mode by the way it looks, but I still think it just doesn't look great. I'm actually not a huge fan of this cannon overall. I think it comes off his arm a little too much. I think that they could have done better with it. The sword is really good, but yeah, the cannon, not my cup of tea. But it's got those 3 different pegs there. Just not my thing. I think he looks better like that, personally. Okay. Now let's get some good looks up of him. As you can see, that's Monzo right there. He transformed into a head. He is a little loose. Doesn't want to stay in there super well. But that's understandable. I mean, it just pegs right in there. It's not a big peg, but as you can see, it could turn 360 there. His arms will go all the way around. You know, we do know a little bit about his ability to move already, just because we looked at his wolf form there, but no movement on the hands. He will stretch out there, got a spin right there, spin right there at the foot as well. He's going to be able to kick that far forward. Yeah, okay. And he can kick that far back. Can he do no T-posing? That's as far as his arms are going to be able to go out because of these right here. His legs will go into a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Art's just looking at it. His head, they changed it to look more like his Japanese head. It looked a little different in America, but this is what it looked like in the Japan show, the anime. So I think it's really cool that they did that for this one. They gave him, from the Titans Return one, which looked more like his face in the USA, to this head that looks more like it did in Japan. So on the back side, as you can see, not too awful bad. Definitely not as many gaps or holes as we have with some of the others we've messed with recently. His paws are kind of in the way a little bit. This is kind of big. It almost is a tail lock. And then his wolf head is going to come very far off of the back of his body. But, I mean, overall, this looks good. This looks good. Is there anywhere else that he could store this cannon? Not, I mean, I guess he could kind of, but that looks kind of silly. That's really the only other place. So I wish there was somewhere that he could plug it in on his back to keep it out of the way. But, you know, this works as well just putting it on his shoulder or just not and keeping it out of the way. But yeah, this should be able to also plug. Yeah, that's going to plug in right there as well. I mean, don't think you'd probably ever really do that, but it is an option, of course. We're all about options here. Love old Weirdwolf. He was a fun character for sure. I was really excited when I watched the Japanese anime that we were actually going to learn something about him because he had, what, 2 lines in the American show? Maybe? I don't even know if he talked that much. Let's go ahead and get some measurements going. From the tip of his toes to the top of his shoulder pauldrons, it's just slightly under 6 inches. But if we're going from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head, it's just slightly under 5 3/4. But I think the colors are looking great. It looks better to me than the colors they have in the Titans Return. If I remember, I'll try to put up a picture here of what he looked like in the Titans Return toy. But that Decepticon symbol looks really good. His face looks magnificent in my opinion. Overall though, this robot mode Weirdwolf looks super good. His blade is awesome. It's giant, man. Let's, while he's got him in robot mode, do some comparison shopping here. So compared to Authentics Megatron, compared to Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Ratchet, and just for fun, how about the AOIE Mech Nemesis Prime? Alright, so there's Weirdwolf back in his wolf mode. One thing I wanted to point out that I don't remember talking about earlier, look at those Decepticon symbols on his shoulders. They look so good, man. Love that. That's very nice detailing. And the stickers they've got on here, this is stickers I do believe. I'm pretty sure that is a sticker on both sides. That's the only sticker I see though. That Decepticon symbol there could be, it might just be painted on though. Not 100% sure on that. Those look like they're probably painted on, but they could be stickers as well. Not 100% sure on that one. But yeah, let's go ahead and measure him out in this mode. From the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail, he's gonna be about 7 3/4 inches. We'll go from his shoulder to shoulder, this part of his shoulder right here, and it will be about 3 inches, probably slightly over. We do have another fella here to measure out. Monzo! Monzo is going to be from his head to the bottom of his feet about 1 3/8. So a cool thing that you get to do with like a primitive here that transforms into an animal and whatnot, you get to choose. Do you want to keep them in robot mode? Do you want to keep them in their beast form? I'm keeping him as a wolf, man. This is too cool to not. I'm gonna keep Monzo right in there, and the gun will sit pretty right on top there. So now, on to the rankings. First off, we're gonna talk about functionality. Remember, that's gonna be his articulation, you know, his accessories, his storage for them, how well he can pose up and whatnot. But when it comes to that, I'll probably give him how about a 6? Yeah, probably 6, because he's gonna be, I would say, posing not as good as Perceptor on the Studio Series, but he's got a little bit better when it comes to accessories and accessory storage. So we're gonna give him a 6 just like Perceptor got. Now, with transformation, remember that's how easy it is to transform, how hard, how creative, all that good nonsense. I'm gonna give him probably a 6. I don't think he was too hard to transform really at all. It was pretty easy. It took a second to really get it going. It wasn't the necessarily super most creative, but yeah, I mean, it's overall not the best we've ever seen, but it's not the worst by far. Next up, we're going to go with his appearance. So remember, that's the likeness to his character, how cool he looks in his alt mode and in his robot mode overall. I would say they did very well. He looks really good. I'm taking a little bit off for how much he looks like the actual character. He does look a lot like him, especially in robot mode. But the wolf mode, it's not quite. The head is definitely different than it was in the cartoon. There's definitely a decent amount of differences in the wolf mode specifically, but I'm still going to give him a 7. Overall, I'm not upset about this at all, especially for a mold that is like from like 2016 or 17. This is mold-wise one of the oldest characters that we've looked at and reviewed on this channel. So overall, I would say that it's pretty good for a mold that old. I mean, that's like 8 years old, somewhere around in there. But yeah, I'm happy with this. If you want to grab him, he is Walmart exclusive, but now where he has been out for so long, you can grab him at other places like eBay, Walmart, Amazon. I'm sure you could probably find him on AliExpress as well. I got mine from Amazon. I saw the prices are up a little more than what they were when I got him. I got him at a pretty good time. But yeah, just keep an eye out. I think this is probably one of the best Weirdwolves that I've seen when it comes to cost per appearance. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again so much for coming and supporting and leaving likes and comments. It means so much to me, guys, and I just love doing this so much. And please just continue to like and subscribe and keep watching the videos. I really appreciate you guys. Until all are one, peace.